Hi and welcome to this video. Today we're going to talk about self-sabotage and what it actually means to sabotage yourself. If you watched my latest videos that we have published on the Exile YouTube channel already, you may already know that your beliefs are self-sabotaging you quite a lot. So everything that you have learned over the last years or the past in your childhood, especially from till the age of 7, your unconscious mind can take in a lot of information, really much more information than an adult can get in. And this is the phase where basically the human gets programmed. The programs you put into this human are very important and will shape the human's life later. Even we are not really aware of that. But this time is very important. Today I want to talk about the fact that other things are also programming us or helping to self-sabotage. The video today is about self-sabotage and what it means. You may have noticed that sometimes you sabotage yourself with the unconscious mind. How can you find that out? You may recognize two voices in your head, mind. One is saying, do this. The other is saying, do that. It's like the devil and the angel that you have sitting on your shoulders. Where's that coming from? First of all, it's coming from your childhood, from your programming through this period of time growing up. But second, it's also the media, the news, YouTube, Netflix, everything else is programming you. This is not news. This is not movies. This is not what you think. This is a programming engine to program humans to be like the government or the people higher than the government wants people to be. For some of you, this seemed to be not very believable, right? But if you dig a little deeper, if you look who is actually running, controlling all these platforms and what these platforms are doing, you will clearly see a connection to your being, to your reactions. Let's take a very simple example. You remember maybe what was it called? The Importance, this TV series where there was a big family living with their grandparents, a lot of children, everything was happy, everybody was saying good night to each other, they all lived in one house, everything was okay. Monitor how this programming is developing. So past then, it was all about happy family and so on. Now we have this strange series where you have friends and mom, bad mom, and all this stuff, where they're really programming people to think that it is normal what they see on TV. What you're probably not aware is, if you're watching a lot of TV, this is shaping your narrative. What does that mean? It means that you think it's normal because you see it on TV. The unconscious mind works on repetition. The more stuff you repeat, the more your mind thinks it will be reality. You can cheat your mind. You can program your mind yourself. For example, using affirmations. Problem is, you are not the first finding that out. People who want you to be in a certain way figured it out many, many decades ago. And they're using it against you, for example, in TV. So they're trying to put in a narrative into you. If you watch all the sitcoms, all this stuff going on, especially if you watch something that you are connecting, relating to. Let's say you are also a single mother, you're relating to this mom film. Then you see that actually it's quite cool to be a single mom, and it is, you can drink and it's not that important and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And also all the other movies, all the other series where they are basically shaping how we think reality is, how it is to live together with another person, a relationship. They're basically forming what you think is normal in a relationship, because you see these people reacting in a certain way, and because you see it so many times, you think it's normal. This is one part. Then there's other parts. What are you eating? What are you drinking? All the stuff that gets promoted. I was just traveling today and going through the airport. If you look at the duty-free stuff they're selling, what is it? Alcohol, cigarettes, perfume, all stuff that is not good for you. You may have a little glimpse that this is maybe not good for you, but you will maybe not really understand it till now. But this is not important. It doesn't matter if you understand it now or you will understand it later. You will understand it at a certain time. You will understand it at a time which is right for you. So why is coffee, for example, not good for you? If you look at some science, and I'm not promoting science, but if you look at people that go into MRI, which is scanning your brain is functioning quite well. If you look at people, they have 1 cup of coffee, their brains are just functioning 60%. So you're losing 40% of your brain power. This is why they're promoting coffee so heavily. So one is coffee. Then you have alcohol. Of course, if you drink alcohol, almost everybody knows this is not good for you. They're promoting the wine moms. They're promoting that red wine is actually better or has some benefits. But in reality, it's bad for you. It's impacting your strength. It's impacting your clear mind. It's shutting down your prefrontal cortex. Your prefrontal cortex is the brain, the part of the brain which actually can make logical decisions. If this part of the brain is not working, then your subconscious mind will take over. And the subconscious mind will use the programs that it has been programmed with, meaning your childhood, TV, and all the other stuff. And then you're putting into yourself coffee, alcohol, tea, and all the other things that you're putting in. Why are you doing that? Because somehow you feel pain. So pain can be from a thing that just happened. So maybe you have experience that you just went through and it's hurting. But most of the time, pain is actually a trauma that you're saving in your body. You need to understand, when you grow up, when you're a child, you don't have the tools, you don't have the understanding, you don't have the developed brain to act with this trauma. So what is happening? What's happening is that your body is storing the pain. And the problem with that is that all the substances you take are trying to take you away from this pain. So you feel a certain pain in yourself. And you may realize that you have the feeling to do something beneficial for yourself. Smoke, drink wine, have a coffee, whatever it is, eat. These are all things that you think that you need now because you want to reward yourself. Think about that. Isn't that true? So oftentimes, all these triggers are actually because we have these traumas, these pains stored in our body. And you may, if you haven't heard anything about the coffee, and you may wonder, why did I mention tea? Tea is also impacting your brain, not in a way that coffee is impacting your brain, but is impacting your brain. And alcohol, of course, is impacting your brain. All the other drugs you should also not use. You can use them in a special setup, maybe, if you think you want to do ayahuasca to find whatever you think you need to find. This can be good if you're guided by somebody who knows what he's doing. But it shouldn't be an escape. This is the important message. Don't use these drugs, substances to escape. Don't use alcohol, don't use coffee, don't use tea. Eat healthy. This is another factor. If you're not eating healthy, then you are vulnerable. The only way to protect yourself from things you don't want to happen to you and your family is being healthy and dealing with your traumas. Being healthy is the easier one, I would say. So you can eat organic. You can slowly try to cut off your coffee. You can slowly try to not drink. Whatever other addictions you have, all the addictions are helping you to eliminate, to bring down the pain, if you're honest. You come to a certain point where you feel a certain amount of pain where you cannot really resist anymore. And then it's very likely that you are triggered to do some kind of action. Most people don't notice this. They just do it, but they don't know why they do it. So what is the way to do it? What is the way to really solve it? How can you find the root cause of the issue? Because you really need to find the root cause. It doesn't make any sense to go to the doctor, to just cut off the leaves if the whole plant is sick. You know what I mean? Like, you need to find the root cause to solve the issue. How can you find the root cause? It's not complicated. It's actually so simple that it's hard to understand that this can work. So how do you do it? It's very simple. You just go into yourself. What do you do? How you do it? So most people have really problems to go into themselves. There's so much, music. You're always around with other people. You're always on your phone, on the computer. You need to take a little time. And you don't really have to take it out of the day. You can do it in the morning or before you go to bed. This is the easiest one because you're laying in bed already. So if you lay in bed, just go into yourself and try to locate your pain. As soon as you can locate your pain, what are you doing? You just go there. You just sit with the pain. Just act like you would sit opposite of the pain and watch the pain, like you would be a therapist or whatever. Just sit there and watch the pain. Don't try to make it go away. Don't judge it. Don't say, why you're here? I don't like you. You're bad. Listen what the pain wants to tell you. The pain is there for a reason. The pain is there to protect you, prioritize you or punish you. You need to find out why the pain is there, what the pain wants to tell you. If the pain doesn't really answer, doesn't matter. Just sit there. You don't have to solve this on the first day, on the first session with your pain. You just stay, come back. The pain will come back. You do it on the next day again. You just go there. Let's say you feel it in the area, in the heart area, or you feel it in the abdominal area. And remember, you don't want the pain to go away immediately. Of course, you want the pain to go away, but remember, the pain is there for a reason. So what you do is you just close your eyes and go to this area. And then you just try to feel the pain very intensely. And maybe the pain will tell you why it's there. If you found the purpose is strange, let me explain what it is all about. So how can the pain be there to protect you? The pain can be there to protect you because you may have lived through a situation in your childhood where you couldn't protect yourself from something. And the pain will maybe stop you from doing something that your unconscious mind thinks is not good for you. So it will protect you. This could be you have massive back pain. And if you go deeper into yourself, you notice that the back pain is actually not there on the weekend, but it's there heavily on Monday. So maybe the back pain is related to your work. You don't want to go to work. Your body is trying to tell you, don't go there. I can't deal with this stuff. So this is just an example, but it could be possible that you feel a lot of pain because of you don't want to do stuff and you know it's not right for you. So you need to stop it. Punish. Why could a pain be there to punish you? Well, you had also most likely a situation in your childhood before you have been 7. You experienced something that was not nice. And you go through a similar situation now in your adulthood. The problem is we have an adult body, but we still have somehow a child mind, especially all these traumas are saved in our body. And I'm sure you have experienced this as well. You run into situations where you are getting triggered. You are acting in a certain way, but you don't really know why you're acting in this way. It's not logical. It doesn't go through your prefrontal cortex. You're just shooting at the other person, screaming something or reacting in a certain way. Why is that? Well, it's because of your stored trauma, because of a program that you picked up as a child. So also in this case, you're trying to protect yourself, but this can go even further. So this can lead into self-sabotage. This can lead into really you're growing up in a family where, it's a normal family, no entrepreneurs, just normal jobs. Then you are getting a little successful. Suddenly, you're self-sabotaging yourself. Why is that? You want to fit in the herd, and you're starting to self-sabotage. And also you may have picked up some other beliefs. Prioritize. This seems strange, no? How can a pain be there to prioritize you? Well, many people will not like this, but for example, if you sit in a wheelchair, if you have some kind of disability, if you have some other tag that you give yourself, I am allergic, I have PTSD, I have ADHD, whatever, 1,000 tags out there, right? What are you doing with that? You're tagging yourself. You're giving yourself what are you giving yourself? You're really labeling yourself. You're tagging yourself. And then the more you go into that area, let's say you have arthritis. You are in 5 Facebook groups talking about arthritis. You go to the same doctor that tells you, oh yeah, that's really bad, and arthritis. 2 of your friends have arthritis as well. You go to some meetings where you have people having arthritis. And because you can't walk that well, you get a lot of benefits. So your relatives are opening the door for you. You don't have to cook because your husband knows you can't really stand up very well and so on. You're having your identity. And the pain is prioritizing you because you get a special attention. If you would not have this arthritis, if you would not sit in the wheelchair, would you get this attention? No. So a lot of people don't want to give up what they have already. It sounds strange, I know. And I'm not saying this is true for everybody, but for a lot of people that have certain abilities, allergies, they're tagging themselves with something. Be very careful that it's not getting your identity. It's also very important not to pick a side. As soon as you pick the side, you have lost. I am for this. No, I am for that. The problem is, if you're following this kind of people then, so most of the time, let's take a simple example. I'm for Trump. No, I am for whatever, Biden. The problem is, as soon as you are making this decision, you're basing the decision on the person. So what happens if the person, you voted the person because of a certain reason, right? So you think the person is good. Let's take Trump. Okay, Trump is good. But what happens if Trump is then implementing things that you don't like? If you're really very fanatic in Trump, it's very hard for you to change your mind because you based your decision on the person and you made a decision. And this is not the right thing to do. You need to stay neutral. You need to make the decision on a decision-to-decision base, not on a person. This is very important. I hope this video was useful. Was a lot of topics mixed. This was on my mind today. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye. All the best.